Uh, I'm Andrew Young. Apologies for Brett. He almost made it in. He's currently recovering from an ankle recon and a injured nephew. So hopefully we'll see him online, but we'll most likely see him next month. Cool. Just do a quick welcome to the country. Okay, so we meet on the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, where their rich culture and deep connection to the land has flourished for countless generations. We acknowledge and pay respects to the elders past, present, and emerging for their custodianship and wisdom on this journey of shared understanding and reconciliation. Okay, I'm going to whip through these reasonably quickly, just give these guys a bit more time on their presentation. So a couple of weeks back, we had the Windows/AI event in New York City, where they uncovered a whole bunch of new and fantastic things for Windows operating systems. So if you're running the latest version of Windows 11 from the 27th of September, there should be a new update that will give you several features like Copilot in Windows, which gives you extra features in Paint, Photos, Snipping Tool, where you can remove backgrounds, get layers now, your Clipchamp, images and video editing, and some of your Defender products as well. Also, the M365 chat and M365 Copilot has been given an official date for release, which is the 1st or rather the 2nd of November. Just remember that you need a specific M365 license to be able to get this add-on. And they've now got an official new logo as well, very colorful. And all the other Copilot logos will look like that, just with a different color theme, depending on the application. And there's some extra resources that I'll send out afterwards just on how to get your tenant or company ready to use AI and M365 Copilot. So take a photo of that. Also, as part of that update, you've got a new Outlook for Windows application. It's got a funky little icon now. It's pretty good. It does sync with your Outlook.com or your live Outlook settings. So if you've got anything set up in there, it will sync down to your desktop application as well. And it's a general better experience versus the built-in mail app. You get a new Windows backup feature. So this is more like a roaming kind of config. So your applications, your settings and preferences, they can now be restored to a new device or recovered from. DALL-E 3 OpenAI has a new image generation, model, and that's integrated with the Bing chat image generation. And it's also powered by the Microsoft Designer application as well. And several new Surface devices were announced. They're just more powerful. They look pretty much the same, but yeah, the hardware's where the difference is. And finally, we're getting a new Surface Hub 3 coming. So I don't know if the guys here will get a newer model, but yeah, something to look forward to. Across the 365 space, Copilot's Microsoft Stream. So similar to your recordings in a Microsoft Teams meeting, now Copilot can go analyze your recordings and give you some useful insights and even chapterize those videos that you've uploaded into Stream. There's now Copilot for Microsoft Teams Phone as well. And this covers your phone system and PTS and phone calls as well. So it'll listen in on your conversations, giving you key topics, and it will give you the option to then hand off the call to another person with information that's been gathered. So it's Copilot working on the side there to give you those bits of information. The new Teams application is now generally available for Windows and Mac devices. If you've not seen it, it's the smoother, grayer looking Teams application, much more performant. There should be a toggle at the top of your Teams client, whether you want to turn it on and off, and then it'll just download in the background for you. The Town Halls feature is coming. It's going to replace the live events feature in Microsoft Teams. That's rolling out this month, so you should see the name change very shortly. All the limits and functions are roughly the same, I believe, so we'll probably hear a bit more during Ignite next month. You get Personal Plans and Planner. There's the Planner Loop component. Microsoft List, so the Microsoft personal accounts. You can now sign in and use these lists on your iOS and Android devices. Last Thursday, I believe it was the OneDrive Future of File Management event. So we've got OneDrive 3.0 coming out. So it's now the one homepage where all your information is presented to you. You've got multiple views to access the files quickly without having to dig through your OneDrive. What's coming soon, so several features, notably the Files app in your Teams application is getting replaced with the OneDrive layout, so you'll see that soon. Same thing is happening to Outlook, so you'll see the OneDrive access. In the past, it's been really frustrating trying to find a file or a link to a file when you're composing a new email message and trying to attach a file. So hopefully that extends to SharePoint as well, because that was always a pain point. Getting files in demand from the web side of things, and then there's new media view, so it's collapsing all your folders so that you can see all your videos and your photos in the one kind of space. And obviously you're getting Copilot in OneDrive as well. There's new security features and governance. Something pretty cool is cross-tenant migration of OneDrive, so similar to Exchange mailboxes. You can now point one tenant to another and move the content across. So this would be useful in, I guess, mergers and acquisitions. So you're trying to get all the information into one tenant. It sounds like it's just a single PowerShell command to point the source and the destination tenants. And it's apparently really quick as well. The consumer versions of OneDrive, you get these fancy AI-driven person identifying features. So similar to what they've got in Apple's iPhone, when you take photos, it'll identify specific people, give it a name, and then you'll be able to find photos of that person. And they're also supporting natural language, so you can search for specific phrases and your photos will then pop up with relevant criteria. What's old? So finally, this page is now all red. If you haven't already migrated or got a plan to migrate, you probably should look into that very soon. I'll update this slide next month for what's coming next year, I guess, in terms of what's old. But it's generally all the 2012 stuff is now end of extended support. What's on? It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. It's run by the ACSC and ASD. Just making sure that you follow those steps there to regularly update your devices, enable your multi-factor authentication, back up your files, and use passphrases and password managers. Their theme is be cyberwise, don't compromise. It's Microsoft Ignite next month, and as part of the learning side of things, they are going to update or change the Cloud Skills Challenge. So look forward to something happening there. I don't know what's going to happen just yet, but in the past, it's always been here's a curated learning path, complete that, and you might get some either free exam or you get some other goodies in a virtual bag. Again, I'll send these out in the notes afterwards, so you know, take photos or anything. So there's links to some useful resources. Photos. And yeah, just some other user groups and communities out in the wild. So even internationally, nationally, and in SA. So again, yep, I'll send these out in the notes afterwards. All right, so what's coming? The Shift Happens event in DC, 365 EduCon, Ignite, the online version for us, European SharePoint Conference, European Cloud Summit. Microsoft Stream is retiring next February. It's the classic version, so all your new stream for OneDrive and stream for SharePoint is should be kicking along now. Your cutoff was, I believe, mid or late August. So if you hadn't already migrated that data out, it's within your SharePoint admin center. So get your SharePoint admins to sort that out for you. And Digital Workplace Conference date was announced and venue as well. So it's in Christchurch next February. All right. That pretty quickly. So we've got our guest speakers today. It's Cindy and Rag. They're going to do covering, I guess, Microsoft List and Power Automate and how they interact with each other to drive recruitment and HR processes. So I'll hand it over to the guys there. Back on you. Yeah. Might need to redo the.
I'll try plugging in again.
That's not now. No. You'll look at the teams with you. All good. Just come up. You join the meeting. Yeah, that way they share it. Yeah.
Can you send me the meeting?
You don't need to join Teams. You're already on.
Oh, okay.
You're showing it through the room system. All good.
Oh, yeah.
So good evening, everyone. Thanks for this evening coming here to meet me. To tell about myself, my name is Sinduja Manokaran, and people call me Cindy. And I have close to 5 years of experience into recruitment. I have been working as an HR business partner and a talent acquisition specialist for a leading digital marketing agency back in India. And my recent experience, I'm just recruiting in the space of specifically into data analytics and cybersecurity. So the reason for me being here is because I am being a budding citizen developer, where I am trying to integrate recruitment and technology, and which is available to not only with the IT people, but for every common user. So thanks. And together with me today, I have my partner Ragavendran. He's working as an CRM consultant with DXC. So without taking much of your time, I'll just get into the agenda. So this is going to be the agenda for today. I will just give you a little brief about how this Microsoft List works, a little bit about the recruitment challenges, how the technology and the integration happens with the recruitment and Microsoft, with some user stories. So I could give you a little demo on how exactly to track an applicant, record an applicant, and how the workflow goes. About Copilot and some extensions. So why Microsoft List? Because it is simple to use, easy to create, easy to share, easy to transform in every way. So that is how simple it is. It is very smart to use. In sense, it keeps everyone in sync with a common like communication has become a greatest challenge. So it keeps it very smart that it reduces a lot of time. I say it flexible because it has a number of customization options available, a lot of templates to use, and it could be customized based on the any business needs. So that flexible it is. So that is why Microsoft List. And this is a most common recruitment process. So it starts with requirement gathering. sourcing their jobs go live, sourcing, screening, shortlisting, interview, and it goes until selection and offer. So in this process of recruitment, I would like to give you a common or top challenges in the recruitment. So which is applicant tracking. When I say applicant tracking, the jobs go live in many channels, say LinkedIn, Seek, Indeed, across many job boards. So applications are received everywhere, and to track all the applications at one place is going to be a challenge for a recruiter. Quality and quantity of the applications. So which means when I receive 100 applications, a quality and quantity, a very qualified candidate could be a first applicant or maybe the 100th applicant. So it is mandatory for a recruiter to screen all the 100 applications. So that is another challenge. Time constraint. When I say time constraint, it means everything has to happen in a shorter time frame. So if a recruiter is giving a lot of time to a candidate, there are a lot of chances of losing a candidate. Many time constraint things are very a big challenge for a recruiter. And coming to candidate experience, this is something very critical because a positive and negative candidate experience is directly proportional to the employer branding. So having a positive experience from a candidate will have a positive branding, and a negative will have a negative branding. So this is something to do big with the employer too. So candidate experience is another recruitment challenge. Communication and coordination. So when I say this communication and coordination, it is between, say, a communication with a candidate, or it could be internally within the team, or it could be with any account when it is an agency. We work with many employers or many accounts. So it could be with that. The communication coordination throughout everywhere is going to be another challenge. Technology integration in this modern world, like everywhere, the technology integration is happening, and learning the technology integration, integrating the data and technology is another challenge. And cost across industry, not only with recruitment, every industry has a challenge with this cost. So to get started with Microsoft List, I'm just specifically focusing on the templates available in Microsoft List. So specifically with recruitment, we have employee onboarding and the recruitment tracker. And I will just today focus on the recruitment tracker. So there is a recruitment tracker available in Microsoft List, which is ready to use, and it could be customized based on the business needs. Every business or every requirement has different requirements. So based on all the requirements, any kind of customization can happen. So there is already a default tracker available, but with it, like Microsoft gives a pre-filled or already available template, and it could be customized with any additional fields. So the options to customize based on all these kind of fields could be used to customize everything. Maybe if you want to add a name, a single line of text, when you want to add a paragraph, maybe suitability for the role, to record that, multiple lines could be used. Record the location. Maybe if you want to record in years of the candidate, number of years of experience the candidate holds, mobile number, or any kind of numeric information when you want to record, a number could be used. So like this, many fields are available, and any kind of customization could be happening with this field types. So this is the sample field creation that I have already done. So it has a candidate name, position, progress on the column, recruiter, skills, application. Every record could be tracked in this way, and it is easy and quick to track and grab information. So across every field is created, a new item could be created, which is a new candidate could be recorded based on all the fields. So this is the new item creation where a new candidate could be recorded or feeded, where right from when you give different fields, all these fields are popped in, and maybe when you are doing a phone screening or when you receive an application, you can track them here. I'll just show you a live demo of how to get into this Microsoft list. So Microsoft List itself is an app, and so this is how an homepage looks like when you create, when you want to create a list. This is going to be your homepage of Microsoft List. Clicking on the new list will allow you to create a new list. There are 4 options available. You can create a blank list, which is a new list. If you have already a metadata available, you could use that from existing list and could be integrated. If you already have an Excel file where when you currently, if you are working on an Excel file and tracking all the applications, the data from Excel could also be imported. If you have a comma separated file, the comma separated file could also be imported. And today we are just focusing on this recruitment tracker, which is already available template from Microsoft. So clicking on this will give me a template like this, which has some basic or pre-existing columns filled in with candidate name, position, progress, recruiter. When I click on this use template, this tracker is ready to use. But for now, I am just clicking on this recruitment tracker, which I have already created just to showcase you for now. This is how this is how a basic template will look like, and I have already added some customization. And still, of course, we could use many customization happening here. So I have already have the mobile number, email ID, position, progress, recruiter. So coming to this, I have an option called here add column. And it asks me for number of options here. So if I wanted to add a single line text, multiple line text, or if I have to get into customizing with some options, then I'll go for choice. If I am recording any date and time, maybe if I want to record any um, upcoming interview date, date and time, I have to do that. Or if I am, this person allows to um, assign a task to any other team member. Um, so number, any numeric data to be added or something. So yes or no options. So any kind of last minute upgrade is required by any employer or for any skill requirement. So that could be added in here at any time. And it is quick and very easily communicated to all the team members. So for now, I will just show you adding currency for instance. So I click on next. So I just wanted to record the new candidate's expected salary. I click on expected salary. And I could have, if I have any description, or if I want to create any type of currency format, any decimal value, or if I want to give any default value, all this kind of customization could happen. And click on save, and new field is created instantly, like quick in minute. So so like this, any number of fields could be created. And after creating this, I click on this add new item, so which will allow me to record a new candidate information. So I say, for instance, I create um, I create a candidate. Um, um, I'm just giving him as a malware analyst. So it could be a new application, and I could assign it to a recruiter. Internally, if I wanted to, if this is created by a recruiter, say Ragavendran, I could do that. And application date, so to record the date and time when the application has come in. So this kind of all the information could be added. So after the initial interviews and the interview feedbacks, if I want to get into this background check and reference check for individual candidate to track the location, I track in the expected salary. If I want to record the candidate's LinkedIn profile or any portfolio link, so all this customization could happen here. And click on save. And this candidate is created. So this is how a Microsoft list effectively is working.
Yes.
So getting into so now the recruitment tracker is done and it is ready for use. Next comes this rule. There is an option for creating a rule within Microsoft List. So this is basically to notify someone when there are some changes happening within the data, created data. When there is any change in the column, a new item is created or an item is deleted. For instance, if I say an account manager is working uh, with an employer, and the employer wants to add in any upgradation to the requirement, say with all the requirement given at the early stages, later point after the recruiters start working, say the employer comes back and saying the NV1 clearance is mandatory for this role. So what happens? The account manager just creates another field in this. And if this notification is, if this rule is active, then data in column changes and it is linked to the team members. Automatically, when this new field of NV1 clearance, yes or no, is created, that is available to use and easily communicated to all the team members. So this actually helps in better tracking on the data and saves much of the time in communication. Same happens when a new item is created, or maybe sometimes a record is deleted. Sometimes no one is notified where the data is gone. So in that case, when the data is deleted, it is automatically sent to, it could be assigned. So it could, this rule is also customized, like if any item is deleted, the notification has to go to an account manager or a recruitment manager, then it is automatically gone. So those kind of customization would happen within roles. So this is a screenshot I have captured which says I have created a rule with any item is deleted, send an email to Ragavendran. So in this, if this rule is created and if any data from the recruitment tracker is deleted, then there is automatically an email sent to Ragavendran Padmanabhan. So he is notified with that. So these kind of like this, any kind of customization could be used to create a rule.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving the stage over to Raghavendran to take forward with Copilot.
Still, today morning, I just thought of trying this Copilot. It's still in preview. I'll give it a try. Hopefully it's working. I'll just try to run with the demo data. So I already have created the Copilot app. Let me see if I can just quickly pop it down. It's quite bigger. So this is a Power App, Canvas Power App, which is connected to the SharePoint list or a database table. And this Copilot sits on top of that database table. So I'll just go to the tracker now. I'll see if it's working. It's still refreshing, but if it's working, I'll just quickly demo those things. So I'll say like, what questions can I ask? Okay, give me a candidate name with a malware analyst. I'll give it a try. Which should work. Okay. So it just pulled my name. Yeah. I think I do have my name somewhere there. I'll say like more questions. Someone with NV1 clearance. Yeah, Fletcher Scott is having a -1 clearance. So consider this data table is having like 1,000 applicants in your tracking system, and you're just trying to target someone who is in Adelaide and who has already NV1 clearance, and you want to target that applicant. So this will be really useful. And so this is still available in Excel sheet today. If you go, you will have your old applicants in your Excel or tracked in somewhere in your SQL database, but still this is far prettier. This is like more of a future kind of a thing. Yeah. I'll just go back. I want to explain a few more things here. I'll get into more of a developer thing. So what you guys have seen is more of a end user from an HR perspective. So as like Andrew told, still Copilot is in preview mode. I think November they are releasing it, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
November. Hopefully. Yeah, it's mostly in US. So this is the Power App or Canvas app, which you guys see it, and this is a Copilot embedded in it. So in this, I just want to quickly showcase only one thing. So if you see here, your data source is my candidate list with the Dataverse and views there. So if I am going to have like active and inactive candidates, I could filter those things here and edit fields. See, this Copilot, which fields you want to connect. Say if you have like 60 columns in your database, you don't want to connect to all the 60 columns. So you need to choose the fields which you guys want to connect. So I have connected almost like 20 fields there, and that's how you guys see like it's searching and giving back those details. Yeah. I'll see one more if I can do. What about interview data there? They can use compensation too. Then we do have. So Adelaide is most of healthcare people's other. So this tracker is not just for IT, healthcare, or any verticals. You guys can have those positions created. So we are just doing for a cybersecurity kind of a background, but it's flexible across the HR domain or recruitment domain. I don't know whether it's work or not, but I'm just putting those questions. Yeah. So Oliver Martin as a compensation of. So these are all like runtime algorithm data which AI is giving us to us. I'll go to the next slides. So the other part about is like with this Microsoft list and how the Power Automate works. So this recruitment tracker, if I go for integrate button, right, you have Power Apps. So in this Power Apps only, we were seeing the Canvas app, and on that Canvas app, we had a Copilot embedded. So, and there is a Power Automate and Power BI. So inside the Power Automate, I'm just going to say like, we already had some rules created. Okay, it's going into my DXC thing. It's mostly to do with cookies, like I'm having too many Microsoft accounts. So.
I mean, you browser profiles.
Yeah, it's so confusing because it's already inside this account and it's navigating to the other one. Yeah. Let me see one time. No, which account it takes now. Sorry, this one. So these are the flows which we have created. So this is like a flow. What it does is so there is another component called as Microsoft Forms. So for example, in a real-time world, HR can send out an form having like requesting hey candidate, can you supply me your mobile number, your location, or are you certified in this one, or all those in a kind of a form response they can send out to the candidates, and you can have a response from the candidate via email. So once you have that data from the email, right, that needs to go into your SharePoint list. That's a pretty much of the flow which we have written. So what I'll be doing is like from the cybersecurity interview questions, you will have the candidate name and the mail ID, and their responses are tracked inside the flow. I'll just try to create this flow. Still, it's not done, but how it looks, I'll just quickly showcase. Because without explaining the form, I cannot go to that part. I've not included those in the PPTs. So I'm just sending out this questionnaire to an candidate saying, fill in your name, your email, and do you have experience in some of these things? And then what about your team and your technical skills? So all these parameters are not tracked in our tracker, but these can be mapped into our SharePoint list. So once we have these details in the list, then based on these things, say I'm sending these responses to my 10 or 12 candidates, then I can filter out like who has the best matching data, and then I can target them and I can conduct the next interview process using the Power Automate, or we can schedule those interviews and we can move on. Yeah. So on the other part is like this Microsoft List also has a mobile component. You can install the Microsoft List in your mobile, and this is how it looks. For a little bit of developers kind of a thing. So you guys see here kind of oranges in the column. So I'll just quickly showcase what it is all about. It's a very simple format. So if you have a lot of applicants in your tracking system, in this case, if I want to track like what are my next 7 days of applicants who are having interview, I can do that via this formatting. Yeah, we can create a separate filter view and also do it. But this more of like if I want to format the column, I can do that. So here what we have done in the thing is quickly pop it up. So what it does is like this sample piece of code will format the column and say like it'll get the current month and it will highlight only the current month targeted applicants, like who are going to have an interview, or all those conditions we can add. But I'm just color coding like these are the interview dates for these months. So I'm just highlighting as orange color. Yeah. This page should load. It's not loading. It's like white color. It should load here. Yeah. And some of the useful links, like whatever the Cindy has written, that blog post is already available in LinkedIn. And if you guys want to get started within your employer, like a Microsoft List, you should be already having a SharePoint or get those license like E5. I think E5 license is needed. Not sure on those licensing and the cost perspective, but this is the if you get this link, you should have that page where you can start from the Microsoft List. And next part, with if there are any recruiters or human resource persons who are attending from the teams, like we have another product from Microsoft, which is like Dynamic CRM for human resources. Give a try for that too. And over to you. Next year, I can go for yeah. So for the next year, we are planning to do a similar demo on the D365 human resource capabilities. And yeah, No, mostly done. Any questions?
I'm played with Microsoft Lists, and one of the things that I find really annoying is you can't join two lists.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, in your case, you've got a list of candidates for positions, but how do you tell if you've got no candidates for a position? It's very hard.
It's very hard. But the thing is like we have a lot of limitations within the list. But if say I come from a non-profit background and I don't have a huge applicant tracking system, and if already Microsoft is having a list start, you can get started using it. Or consider sometimes it's good to have two lists. For example, I run a company and I have a SAP practice, Microsoft practice, I have a healthcare. So it's not like you need to have all the candidates under a single list. You can have multiple lists. So, and that's where it gets, because if you take in a bigger HR departments where they have like a team of, like say 100 human resources in Australia, Singapore, they have a big team. It's not like each would have a single big large list, but it could be like different lists across the different skill sets. So that's how the generally it's set up, and each can has their own list and go on with it. Yeah, but there will be mostly like that's where the Copilot comes into picture. You can have a maybe a single SQL database connected via Copilot where you want to run some search on the applicants, you can do that. Yeah, but it's like each can have their own separate list, but you will have a single Copilot which connects this all this data. Something we can think about those things. Yeah. That's it.
I think you answered, I'm not sure, but the lists, it needs an enterprise subscription only.
Kind of. That's what like I'm not really expert in the licensing even from Microsoft. Like if I
SharePoint online.
yeah SharePoint on. I come from yeah.
Could I access it as with a developer subscription?
This is purely a developers, but this for trial, like you need to have a Power Automate developer plan or something. So my subject matter expert is like Dynamics CRM 365. I'm not a SharePoint expert, but it took me like almost a month to upskill on those things. And Microsoft gives like, I think 90 days or 30 days. It's all free. Like, yeah. This is our own environment. You can set it up and you can run a trial and go for it. Yeah. So this is the contact details. Thanks, Andrew, for giving the opportunity and facilitating us. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers.
Plug back in. It's kind of pointless, but I'll do it anyway. So I hope that was informative and answered some questions regarding some of the pre-canned Microsoft List templates you can play with. Let's do my own plug really quickly. Yeah, so I'll have the, I guess the notes, the links, the recording and all that put up on my blog, and I'll share that out once it's all ready. We should have a session on Intune again next month that Brett will run, hopefully. And then the month after, we will probably do a recap on some Ignite announcements and whatnot. So we'll see what happens there. And again, if you've got any topics or if you want to present even, make sure you fill in the form we've got that gets sent out with the event itself and my posts. So yeah, Rag himself, he filled out a form to submit this topic. So if you got something, anything you want to talk about, or even want to use this as an opportunity to do like a Toastmasters, feel free to take control of the soapbox, and we'll make sure it happens for you. So yeah, thanks for coming along. If you want to hang around, we can chat out there. Usually Brett is the one that's shouting pizzas of beers or whatnot, but I can't really attend to that. So yeah, if you want to hang or you want to get downstairs somewhere, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, we will see you next month. Okay, Pete, you can stop recording now.